Welcome to Whiskey's the Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano. Today is my Wednesday segment called Sip It or Skip It. This is where I have all of my whiskeys randomized on my phone. I'm going to spin the wheel, pull it off the shelf, do a quick review, and then let you guys know if I'm going to keep sipping on the bottle until it's gone and then replace it, or once the bottle's gone, I'm going to skip it and move on to something else. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we're doing today. Oh, no sound. All right, we are doing Bunnahabhain 12. This is not the cask strength. I think this is just the standard Bunnahabhain. Let me go ahead and pull this off the shelf, pour it, and let's do a review. So we got Bunnahabhain 12. This has already made some appearances in other videos, so you might know where this is gonna go if you guys have been tuned into the channel. And I guess this would be a good time to say, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you like this information, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Turn that bell notification on because I go live with videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do me a favor and leave some comments down below, whether you are familiar with the whiskeys that I'm reviewing or if you just have general comments in general. Words confuse me sometimes. All right, on the nose, this is very sherry forward. And when I talk about sherry, there's two different types of sherry. There are lighter fruit sherry notes, and then there are the darker sherry fruits, kind of like the dates, the figs, the raisins, and plums. This is more on the darker side. The note that stands out to me the most is the dark raisin note. This is a very sweet smelling whiskey, Scotch single malt, 12 years of age. Now, I am picking up a very, very slight amount of cooking spices here, Christmas spices, and which I didn't know, and a viewer made a comment. Allspice is a fruit crushed up, and I didn't know that. I thought allspice was something more of a congregation or a conglomerate or a mixture of different types of spices. I had no idea it was a fruit spice, but I would say I pick up that a little bit in here. Which makes sense because if it's a fruity spice, and this is a very fruit-forward single malt, that would make sense. All right, let's go ahead and get it on the palate. On the palate, just like the nose, it's very fruit-forward, and it's a dark fruit. I don't think there's really anything light about this bottle. With the exception of the ABV, I do think that it's pretty light on the palate as far as ethanol goes, and I do believe this is 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. Correction, 46.3%. ABV. Yeah, this is good stuff. A little bit of malt sweetness in here as well. I do get a little bit of barrel influence, but it's not a barrel char. It just has an oakiness to it, but it's not over oaked. And just like always, the information for the whiskey is right here, along with my sip it and skip it tallies. Let's get that second sip down. Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind on that second sip is the ABV is really nice. The malt is there, the oak is there, the fruit sweetness is there. I would not say that this is overly complex, but the depth of flavor is pretty rich here. It doesn't go through an evolution from the arrival to the mid palate to the finish. I think it's pretty consistent all the way through. And because of the depth of flavor or the richness that it has, I'm not complaining about how it's not changing. It stays consistent, but it's consistently good. And every once in a while, I do get some barrel bitterness on the side of my tongue. I think that would be the tannins, and I don't get much tannin in this one as I do the others. But let's go ahead and get that third sip down, see if I can pull anything else out of this, and then let you guys know if this is going to be a sip or a skip for me. All right, so on that third sip, I do get a little bit of heat on the tongue. The ethanol or the ABV sits rather well. It radiates a little bit and then just dies down. I really do like the ABV. And with that third sip, concentrating on the finish, I don't think this really has a long finish. This would be smack dab right in the middle. I would say this has a medium finish. And this has been now the second time or the third time that this has appeared in some of the videos. I just need to let you guys know the goal that I set out when I started this channel was to share every bottle that I have in my collection with you guys. And the two main ways these bottles are going to be presented to you guys review-wise would be my Monday and Wednesday series. Monday being a little bit longer format that are going to dive into this just a little bit more, and then the Wednesdays will be Sip It and Skip It. And then again, this popped up on some of my Friday videos when I did my 5-bottle flights. So this is now probably going to be the last time you might see this bottle unless it pops up into my comparison videos that I'm going to be starting on Friday. My Friday format is changing. I'm still going to do the first Friday flight fight. I'm going to throw in a 5-bottle flight, and then I'm going to put in a battle between 2 similar whiskeys and do a taste off and see which one I like the most. And then the 4th Friday or the 5th Friday of the month, however many I have in a month, is still up in the air. I may do another battle. I might do another 5-bottle flight. I don't know just yet. So one last time, if you do enjoy this and you're thinking that you're going to like that kind of content, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. Comment down below if you are familiar with Bunnahabhain. And let's move on to whether this is going to be a sip or a skip. And this is not going to be a surprise to anybody. This was my single malt Scotch whiskey of the year last year. And my palate hasn't really changed that much. I still really enjoy this bottle. So this is definitely going to be a sip for me. What do you guys think? Is it a sip or a skip for you? I'm going to get this 4th sip down just to reaffirm that this is going to be a sip for me. And then we'll go ahead and call this video good. And I've said this quite a few times. As I bring the glass up to my mouth to take a sip, I'm breathing in just a little bit and I get different notes. I wouldn't say different notes, but I get different intensities with the notes that I get on the palate and or on the nose. And this time was no different. My mouth and maybe getting up into the nasal cavity, I ended up getting a tremendous amount of fruit. Each time I sip this, it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And then right before I took that 4th sip, those fruit notes really exploded, and that was the sweetest sip that I've had so far. Let me know what you guys think of this bottle. And until next time, I hope you guys are enjoying your journey, because I'm definitely enjoying mine, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye. This is very good. Very rarely do I ever finish a pour on camera. This is a good one. I gotta slow myself down.